All right, today we're diving into the incredible story of Wur Deng. It's a really powerful look at resilience, loss, and the journey of having to redefine your own life when faced with just unimaginable hardship. Let's get into it.
Wow, we start with this quote right here, and it just immediately sets the stakes, doesn't it? We're talking life, death, and the kind of loss that's permanent. This is the emotional heart of the entire story.
So, let's set the scene. The year is 1985. War completely changes the author's life, separating him from his parents forever. He calls it the end of our togetherness, and it's the start of this long, incredibly difficult path as an orphan. Right from the beginning, he has this philosophy about life, that it's an uneasy journey. It's not simple, it's not straightforward, it's a mix, a cycle of good and bad. And that's really the lens through which he sees everything that happens to him.
You know, this loss wasn't just about physical hardship. It kicked off this deep internal struggle. In the middle of all that chaos, he starts this relentless search for meaning, a search for a reason behind any of it.
And this was the question that haunted him. Why were they killing us? The violence was just so senseless, and it forced him to wrestle with the biggest question of all. What is the point of life? If it all just ends in death, he wondered, what is the point of this stupid journey?
And here's something so crucial. Through his entire time in school, he just felt this gaping hole where a support system should have been. He calls it a profound void, that missing foundation that honestly, a lot of us just take for granted.
And yet, despite everything, he crushed it. In middle school, he actually got first place in his class. I mean, that's an incredible achievement for anyone, let alone someone going through all of this completely on their own.
But then you get this emotional gut punch. That success, it felt empty. He had no parents, no family to race home and tell the good news to. All that pride, all that joy, it had nowhere to go. In his words, he was just burning inside. It's such a powerful way to show the true cost of his loss.
All this struggle also gave him a really deep understanding of what freedom actually is. See, for him, it wasn't just about being physically safe. It was the freedom to think for yourself, to choose your own path, a freedom he just didn't see in North Sudan, where everyone was expected to fall in line.
Okay, so all of this pain and questioning, it was all leading somewhere. It was building towards this huge turning point, a realization that was about to change his entire outlook on life.
He kept asking these big philosophical questions, not just about his own life, but about the world. You know, who's really responsible for these massive human crises? Who's to blame? He really wrestled with this idea that someone somewhere has to be accountable for it all.
And man, he hits some really low points. Absolute despair. By 1996, he felt like his dreams of getting an education, of having a future, were pretty much dead. He was on the verge of just being completely swallowed by his circumstances.
And then, right out of that despair, he has this moment of clarity, this one idea that changes everything. Only you can help you. This simple thought becomes his engine, his mantra. It was this declaration of self-reliance that fueled his fight to refuse to be defined as nothing. So armed with this new mantra, the whole story shifts. He stops looking outside for help or for validation. He starts building a life on his own terms. And that begins with completely redefining what success even means. His definition of success is so unique. For him, it's not some finish line or a trophy you win. It's a state of being, a place of self-awareness and acceptance. It's not a destination you get to, but a journey you're always on. And this is where his idea becomes so powerful. He takes those years of his absolute worst hardship, 1985, 1992, 1996, and he completely flips them. They aren't just scars from the past anymore. They become his personal success unit of measure. He uses his lowest points as the yardstick to measure all his future progress against.
This quote just sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? He realized the real power wasn't in achieving what other people call success. The power was in his ability to define it and name it for himself. As he says, he now thrives on my terms.
So where does that leave him now? Well, the story doesn't just end with him overcoming the past. It wraps up with this incredibly strong, forward-looking commitment to just keep growing, to always be resilient.
Giving up is not in my life dictionary. I mean, what a statement. That's his promise to himself. After everything he's been through, the option to quit, it just doesn't even exist for him anymore.
So really, the big takeaway is this two-part process he's discovered. First, you have to stop and recognize how far you've come. You have to honor that progress. And then, use that acknowledgement as the fuel, as the launching pad for whatever's next.
And this is what makes his story so universally powerful. He leaves us with this one simple but really deep question. He turns his personal journey into a mirror for our own lives. It kind of forces you to pause and think about your own progress, your own resilience, and the benchmarks you use to measure your own life. So really, how far have you come?